I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at this. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Hey, I'm not surprised.
Hey, what's poppin', my homies? Hope you're doing well, feeling blessed, having a good day, having a good week. This one's going to be a massive pay-per-view. We've got Sean O'Malley taking on Merab Dvalishvili, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Now, guys, apologies for the late upload. Yesterday was a madness. I don't want to get into it too much, but yeah, let's just say the NHS in England, dusty, pure dust. Now, looking at my bets on my last card and also contender week 5, I made 6 bets. I went 50-50. No plus money winners, but all my minus bets, they're winners. But as a gambler, you want the plus money. You want that. So we attempt that on my Patreon. We do attempt that. And we've already got a plus money ticket lined up for this pay-per-view. Now, guys, looking at the MoneyCity comments from last week, if you see your name on the screen, you already know. That's money. Pure money. Now, guys, moving to the first matchup of the card, we've got Raul Rosas Jr. taking on Aoriqileng. And Raul Rosas Jr., this guy's a grappler. This guy's a mauler. It's all about jiu-jitsu when it comes to Raul Rosas Jr. Whereas Aoriqileng, on the flip side, he's more about striking. He's more about, you know, keeping the fight on the feet. He doesn't want to be on the mat. And his grappling, it's not too good. His wrestling defense, it's not too good. So when Raul Rosas Jr. gets him to the mat, that's where the mismatch is, you know what I'm saying? And that's where he gets dusted. So yeah, as soon as Raul Rosas Jr. gets him to the mat, and it should be in round 1, it's game over. So yeah, give me Raul Rosas Jr. round 1 with the submission. Now, guys, moving into a matchup between Edgar Chairez taking on Joshua Van, and this one's going to be an absolute banger. And the reason as to why that is, if you look at Edgar Chairez, this guy's all about Mexican boxing. You know, a very tough Mexican fighter. He's willing to stand on the feet, willing to box with any opponent. And that's what we also see with Joshua Van. So in my mind, they're both Mexican, really. You know, they're both going to stand and box. Joshua Van in round 1. Typically, round 1 isn't good for Josh Van. You know, his defense isn't good. The opponent will start to box with Josh Van and they'll find the target. But as you progress into round 2, that's where Josh Van starts to rip to the body. That's where Josh Van starts to break down the opponent. And that didn't happen against Charles Johnson. You know, Charles Johnson lands a massive uppercut, dusts the opponent, dusted. And credit to Josh Van for taking his fight on short notice, you know, giving Edgar Chairez the opportunity to show the Mexicans, look, I'm going to fight a real opponent. And it's going to be a real Mexican fight, in my opinion. Both of them are going to stand and trade. Both of them are going to box. But in my opinion, Josh Van, he's still good. He's still good. I'm not saying Chairez isn't. Chairez is very tough. And if he breaks Josh Van, similar to Charles Johnson, that would be so impressive. So impressive. And it could happen. You know, Josh Van, a few days notice, recently got knocked out like 8 weeks ago. But I just like the way Josh Van rips to the body, you know, breaks down the opponent. And I do see that kind of happening again. I'm going to take Joshua Van. I don't see him stopping Edgar. I do see it going 15 minutes. And it could be close. It could be close. But yeah, give me Josh Van. That's the pick. Now, guys, moving into a matchup between Yazmin Jauregui taking on Ketlen Souza. And this one's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Now, the boxing of Yazmin Jauregui. This girl's a real good boxer. You know, the speed, the technique, the accuracy. There's so much Mexican boxing on this card. I know some people will say, you know, this card, it could be better. It could, but the Mexican boxing on display, it's going to be good to go. Now, Ketlen Souza, look at her against Manik Man. The stand-up, the speed, the combinations, the kicks, the hands. It all looked good. It all looked very, very good. Now, Manik Man, as we know, is more of a wrestler. You know, less of a striker. So, if Ketlen Souza goes in there and does that against Yazmin Jauregui, that's going to be massive. That's going to be massive. But Yazmin Jauregui's more, you know, technically sound. She's sharper. She's faster. So, guys, in my opinion, Yazmin Jauregui should win this fight. But when you look at the betting line, Yazmin Jauregui's like -5. -5 in women's mixed martial arts against someone that's very powerful in Ketlen Souza. Someone that's very fast. You know, the combinations. Ketlen Souza's okay. So, guys, to put Yazmin Jauregui like -500 against Ketlen Souza, I'd kind of disagree. I'd have to disagree. But guys, I am going to side with Yazmin. That is going to be the pick. She is a massive favourite. She is -500. But she should win the fight. You know, the Mexican boxing, it's on display. It's going to be on display against Ketlen. And Ketlen's going to throw down. You know, she's going to throw back. But Yeah, the pick is Yazmin Jauregui. Now moving into a matchup between Manuel Torres taking on Igancio the Howler Bahamondes. This one's a banger, a real banger. Now I was discussing this matchup in my Discord with a few brothers, brother Nikolai. And guys, what's interesting with this fight is if you look at Igancio Bahamondes, if you look at Igancio, his main weakness, if you watch his fights, his main weakness is his defense. You know, we're looking at the kicks, we're looking at the offense, we're looking at the height, the reach. We're looking at all of that. That's good. That's good. But look at his defense. Look at the way Makdessi is able to find a target with straight shots, straight punches down the barrel, right? And that's old man Makdessi. Then you're looking at Igancio against Ludovic. And some people may say, well, Ludovic, that guy's sharp, that guy's quick. You know what I'm saying? And that is true. That is true. But Igancio Bahamondes, the defense, if his defense just improved, you know, he'd be a real problem. I really believe that. Now, the thing is, Manuel Torres hits like a truck. This guy's like a Mexican version of Francis Ngannou. When he translates the power to the opponent, finds the target, specifically the chin of the opponent, when he does that, the opponent goes to sleep. Now, if you're Igancio Bahamondes and your defense isn't too good, I can kind of see him getting hit. I can kind of see him going to sleep. And that's kind of disappointing because when you look at Igancio Bahamondes, you're seeing the height, you're seeing the reach, you're seeing the spinning kicks, the teep kicks, the low kicks, the boxing. So I'm seeing quite a few positives, but I do see the weakness. And the weakness here, if the weakness shows against Manuel Torres, you don't want that. You really don't want that. Manuel Torres, man, he doesn't leave round one. So the experience difference between Igancio and Manuel Torres is there to see. You know, Manuel Torres isn't fighting into round 3. He's not going late into a round 2. You know, he's finding the chin of the opponent in round 1. And that's fight done. That's fight done. If you want to put money on, you know, the fighter that's been more experienced, the fighter that's shown more in the UFC, then you're going to bet on Igancio Bahamondes. But if you want to bet on, you know, who's more likely to find a stoppage early in the fight in round 1, then you're putting money on Manuel Torres. But guys, if Manuel Torres doesn't find a stoppage in round 1, what does round 2 look like? You know, against someone like the Howler, Igancio Bahamondes, someone that's, you know, slick, someone that can, you know, kick the opponent, someone that can find the target, someone that can bring good violence to the fight, and that is Igancio. What does it look like going into a round 2 against someone like that? Guys, the matchup we've got here, like I've explained, very interesting. You've got Igancio that has a weakness, that if the weakness is exploited, it may be fight done. You know what I'm saying? And then you've got Manuel Torres, who's only left round 1 once. And if he leaves round 1 against someone like Igancio Bahamondes, someone that's so willing to bring violence to a fight, then it could get interesting. It could be a learning experience for Manuel Torres. So amazing fight, but give me the Howler. Give me Igancio Bahamondes. Now, guys, moving into a matchup between Irene Aldana taking on Norma Dumont. And this one's another banger. A real banger, because when you look at Norma Dumont, she's more about Sanda. And Sanda is Chinese kickboxing. And that's kind of interesting because she's Brazilian. Most Brazilians, they use Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. That's their skill set. And it's such an amazing skill set to try to compete against. You know, Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai. What more do you need? Maybe some wrestling, maybe some boxing, but yeah, Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. That's most Brazilians. But that's not Norma Dumont. Norma Dumont is more about, you know, Sanda. And Sanda is okay. Sanda's okay. The kicks of Norma Dumont, that's going to be like the real problem for Irene Aldana. Maybe some grappling too, because, you know, you're seeing against Germaine de Randamie. She takes Germaine to the mat and makes it more about grappling. But then again, I bet on Norma Dumont in that fight. And it kind of looked like Norma Dumont had to get Germaine de Randamie to the mat to find success in that fight. You know, her stand-up, it looked a little bit slow. And that's kind of interesting because Germaine de Randamie, she's pretty old. So to see her kind of struggle on the feet and had to use a grappling game plan to win that fight, kind of interesting. But guys, then you're looking at Irene Aldana, the Mexican boxing. Again, the Mexican boxing. For years and years, I've enjoyed to watch the Mexican boxing of Irene Aldana. You're looking at her against Carol Rosa. Rosa's landing calf kick after calf kick. And Aldana's just like, you know, keep doing that. Keep throwing those calf kicks. I'm going to keep walking forward and I'm going to keep landing these hands. I'm going to break you down with this Mexican boxing. But give me Irene Aldana. That's the pick. Irene Aldana's going to walk forward. She may get calf kicked, similar to Rosa, but she's going to march through those calf kicks. And once she starts to land the boxing, once she starts to, rip to the body, land the 1-2s, land the jab's going to land so much. It's going to be landing over and over in round 1 and even in round 3. There's so much boxing excellence from Irene Aldana that if you're a judge, you can score that. You can score that. There's so much to score. She's going to throw down. She's going to find a target. She's a great boxer. Give me Irene Aldana. Now moving into a matchup between Ronaldo Rodriguez taking on Osbourne. And this one's going to be another one where we've got Mexican boxing. Ronaldo Rodriguez. I took him as a slight underdog against Dennis Bonda for the reason that when you look at Dennis Bonda on the feet, it's funny. It's kind of funny. His boxing defense is so bad. So that was kind of easy to, pick the underdog in his UFC debut. Now he's coming up against Osbourne. And Osbourne, he is better than Dennis Bonda. That's a step up, definitely. But Osbourne, man, the IQ. What's the IQ? Why is he doing like jumping knees? And then when he lands on his feet from the jumping knee, he's getting knocked out. And that was against Tyson Nam. So yeah, the fight IQ of Osbourne, it's never been too good. And also the cardio. You're looking at fights against Charles Johnson. That was a split decision win, but it was very close. So close. And that's because Osbourne, he was exhausted late in that fight. Then you're looking at fights against Asu Almabayev. Gets dusted. So I kind of think Osbourne, there's speed. There's speed to his stand-up. But I just think, against someone like Ronaldo Rodriguez, he understands what he's about. And when you understand what you're about, you can just go to the cage and do that. Whereas Osbourne, it's like, what are you about? What are you about? Your cardio's not great. You're doing weird things like jumping when you're in control of the fight and then just randomly dying in the middle of the fight. It's a weird thing, man. Osbourne, I don't really rate him. Whereas Ronaldo Rodriguez, this guy's Mexican. He's Mexican. He's gonna box. I'm gonna say that all card. The Mexicans are gonna box. That's what they're about. So give me Ronaldo Rodriguez. The fade on bad IQ, bad fight IQ, Osbourne. That's got to be the play. Fade that guy. Now moving into a matchup between Daniel Zellhuber taking on Esteban Ribovics. And this one's going to be an absolute banger. A real banger. When you look at... Let me just mention Esteban Ribovics. Because, guys, look at his last fight. Look at what he done to Terence McKinney. You don't just do that. Or maybe you do against Terence McKinney. Because Terence McKinney is, go in there, destroy the opponent, or get destroyed yourself. That's what Terence is all about. He's going to be about that, until the end of his career. Now, Esteban Ribovics, clearly, there is evolution in his game. There's evolution in the striking improvement. That's clearly there. We see that in his last fight against Terence McKinney. We see that. When you set up the head kick like that, against Terence, when it's landing like that, and you're also practicing the same technique backstage before you walk out, when you see that, you can only respect such beautiful violence, beautiful technique, beautiful setup, beautiful execution, conversion, the lot. Beautiful, beautiful stuff from Esteban Ribovics. However, the opponent this time round, Daniel Zellhuber, the golden boy. This guy's the real deal. He really is. He's much better than Terence McKinney on the feet. And if you're Esteban Ribovics, which none of us are, if you're Esteban, you're preparing for real war. You're preparing for a 15-minute fight, a 15-minute war, real violence against someone like Daniel Zellhuber. Because Daniel Zellhuber, he's going to stand and use his length. He's going to use the kicks. And when you're seeing against Prado, I think it was against Prado, he got clipped. He got clipped really badly. And he was wobbling around like a newborn baby giraffe. Nearly got stopped in that fight. But Daniel Zellhuber, he's still improving. He's kind of similar in a way to Igancio Bahamondes, where Igancio, their defense ain't great, and kind of the same with Zellhuber. But I do think Zellhuber is a few steps ahead of someone like Igancio Bahamondes, offensively and defensively, IQ-wise, he's good, man. He's so good. And I think against someone like Esteban Ribovics, you're going to get a real fight. And in this real fight, give me the golden boy. Give me Daniel Zellhuber. Now moving into a matchup here between Brian Ortega, T-City Ortega, taking on Diego Lopes. And this one's going to be, again, another banger. A real Mexican banger fight. Brian Ortega, as we know, the guy's all about jiu-jitsu. He's all about, you know, taking the opponent to the mat, if he can, and showing that, look, once we go to the mat, it's done. It's done. And that was the case against Yair Rodriguez. You know, Yair Rodriguez was able to dust up Brian Ortega on the feet. You know, showed us again, look, Brian Ortega on the feet, no striking defense. The guy's a punch bag. Yes, he's very tough. He's Mexican tough, yes. But on the feet, he's not really going to show, look, I'm all about danger. I'm all about stopping the opponent on the feet. He's not going to do that. Now, when he takes the opponent to the mat, when he finds the back, then it's, you know, it's real danger. T-City Ortega, Brian Ortega, amazing jiu-jitsu. Now, the thing is, Diego Lopes also has amazing jiu-jitsu. His jiu-jitsu is phenomenal. So what you've got here is two black belts, two amazing black belts, two amazing grapplers. So, guys, what's the difference? There appears to be a difference in activity. You know, Diego Lopes fighting more than Brian Ortega. You may also say the momentum for Diego Lopes. There's momentum on Diego's side. Not that Brian Ortega didn't have a nice win recently against Yair Rodriguez. He did. But there's more momentum. There's more star power at the moment for Diego Lopes. It doesn't mean that's not going to change on Saturday night. It could. But there's more momentum. There's more activity on the side of Diego. Then you're looking at the stand-up. Then you're looking at the striking of Diego Lopes. And it does appear to be more nasty, more damaging than Brian Ortega. So there's a few differences that kind of go towards Diego. So guys, in my opinion, this matchup here, it's an amazing matchup. Both of them have amazing jiu-jitsu, excellent jiu-jitsu. But if this matchup stays on the feet, Diego Lopes, the guy hits real hard. The guy can start you. The guy can dust you. You know, the KO power, the aggression. And like I mentioned, the star power, the momentum that Diego Lopes is honing right now. It's all making me want to pick Diego Lopes, and I will. The pick is Diego Lopes, not only to beat Brian Ortega, but to find a stoppage. Whether it's a KO or a submission. Give me Diego. Now guys, moving into the co-main event, and we've got the champion, Alexa Grasso, taking on the former champion, Valentina Bullet Shevchenko. And this is going to be the final fight. Now guys, this is going to be boxing versus Muay Thai. Alexa Grasso being the phenomenal Mexican boxer and Valentina being renowned for her unbelievable Muay Thai striking skill set. So it's going to be boxing versus Muay Thai for the most part. Now guys, 90% of the time, I'd say that I side with Muay Thai over boxing. Because boxing, you've got, you know, two punches. You've got your left punch, your right punch. With Muay Thai, there's, you know, the left punch, the right punch, but then you add two kicks, two knees, and two elbows. And it's just a superior striking art. I'm sure most of you would agree. Now, guys, here's the problem. I kind of think that Valentina Shevchenko is kind of past her prime. She's kind of past her prime. It's similar to Israel Adesanya. You know, we broke down that fight a few weeks ago. And the main reason why I took DDP over Israel Adesanya was down to the fact that Israel Adesanya kind of left his prime. And it's not always easy to identify when someone's left their prime. You know, a brother on Instagram asked me, look, before the submission, how did you rate Adesanya's performance? And in my opinion, he looked excellent. He looked so good. But he didn't look his prime. He didn't look like, you know, the Israel Adesanya that destroyed Robert Whittaker to become champ. Or the Adesanya that destroyed Paulo Costa. It's not the same, is he? And some people, you know, they don't want to hear that because they're big fans of Adesanya. But it's true. You know, everyone's got their time. And I kind of think that Valentina Shevchenko is a similar scenario to Adesanya, where she's so good still. She's still very, very good. But is Valentina the best we've ever seen? That's my question to you guys. And I'm sure most of you would agree. This is not the best Valentina we've ever seen. And I'm not saying that, you know, her game's not good. I'm not saying that her skill's not good. Yes, her Muay Thai is amazing. It's always been amazing. It's always going to be amazing. That's Valentina Shevchenko. But I don't believe she's in her prime. I just don't believe it. Whereas, guys, on the flip side, Alexa Grasso, she's the best we've ever seen. She's in her prime right now. You know what I'm saying? It's her time. It's her time right now. So I kind of expect Valentina to, look great for the first 10 minutes. But the following 15 minutes, that's where I kind of believe that we're going to see, she's not in her prime. Same situation with Adesanya. Adesanya's looking great. He's looking phenomenal on the feet. And some people, some people do disagree with me. I've seen it in the comments. Some people are saying on the feet, DDP was winning that fight. He was in control on the feet. Disagree. I disagree. But I believe it's the same situation. Valentina Shevchenko, she's been so dominant for her whole career. And she's still so good. She's still so good. But guys, in my opinion, Valentina Shevchenko, she's not the best she's ever been. That's my angle on the fight. So guys, for me, it comes down to timing. It comes down to, who's in their prime. I believe Alexa Grasso, she's the best she's ever been. Do I believe that's the same with Valentina? No. So for me, and still, and maybe split. It's going to be close. And still for me, that's the pick. Now moving into the phenomenal main event, we've got the champion, Sugar Sean O'Malley, versus the challenger, Merab Dvalishvili. Now guys, I want to start by saying both of these fighters are usually bet. Now the reasons why I bet money on Sean O'Malley are not the same reasons as to why I bet money on Merab Dvalishvili. They both do different things. They've both got completely different styles. And that's good. That's fun. We want that. It's going to make for a fun fight. Now when you look at Sean O'Malley, he's arguably the best striker in mixed martial arts. Now some of you may disagree. Some of you may say he's not number one, but he is up there. Whether you say he's the best or not the best, the facts are he's one of the best. And that's why he's champion. You look at the striking of Sean O'Malley, the accuracy, the speed, the feints, the setups, the IQ, the diversity in striking weapons, whether it's a knee, a spinning kick, an uppercut, a check hook. Sean O'Malley has so many striking weapons that he can use in order to dust the opponent. And he does do that. Sean O'Malley's striking is phenomenal. Now guys, the opponent, Merab Dvalishvili, the challenger, a fighter that's won like 10 fights in a row. I've not picked against Merab. I can't remember the last time I picked against Merab. I really can't. I even took him as a massive underdog against Peter Yan. And some people in the comments were like, Merab is not going to beat Peter Yan. He's not going to do that. But the guy's a dog. The guy's relentless. He's going to use a wrestling game plan. And he's just going to, exhaust the opponent. He's the definition of hard work. If you're breathing, you can still fight. That's Merab Dvalishvili. You know what I'm saying? That's the mentality of Merab. And I love that. He's just a hard-working Georgian. He moved to New York to train with a bunch of killers. And in return for his hard work and dedication, he's also become a killer. A relentless monster that's looking for takedowns, looking to wrestle the opponent, looking to exhaust the opponent. And typically, Merab does do that. And that's what's fun, right? You're looking at Sean. Typically, Sean dusts the opponent with his striking. And then you're looking at Merab. And he normally, destroys the opponent with his wrestling, with his cardio, with his output, with his relentlessness. Both of these guys, they're so good at what they do. Now, guys, Merab has kind of shown multiple times that his striking defense, it does need improvements. He's so reckless on the feet. He's not a striker. You're seeing against Marlon Moraes, he nearly got stopped. You're seeing against Henry Cejudo, he nearly got stopped. So guys, the defense of Merab is potentially a reason as to why he's going to lose against Sean O'Malley. Now guys, let's say hypothetically speaking, Merab does stand and strike with Sean. Let's say that does happen. Guys, what's the result of that? The result of that is going to be Merab goes to sleep. He goes to a galaxy far, far away. His consciousness, it flies to another galaxy. That's the result of Merab trying to strike with Sean O'Malley. Now, the best game plan, in my opinion, and in most people's opinions, if you're Merab, you want to wrestle. You want to grapple with Sean O'Malley. Whether it's round 1 or round 5, it doesn't matter. Let's wrestle, let's grapple with Sean O'Malley. And if Merab does that round in, round out, then he could win. He could win this fight. But that's the main challenge. Can I go to the cage on Saturday night and do what I've got to do in order to win the fight? I can't just go there and do whatever I want to do. I've got to do what I've got to do. There's a game plan. There's a way to fight. And against someone like Sean O'Malley, you can't strike. If you're Merab, you can't strike. Now, guys, on the flip side, Sean O'Malley, he's really been downplaying Merab Dvalishvili. He's not really been mentioning anything positive about Merab. He's not saying nice things. He's downplaying his ability. And some people may say, well, that's bad sportsmanship. But guys, I disagree. They're going to shake hands after the fight. You know, when the fight's done, they're going to shake hands. That's good sportsmanship. But until then, it's warfare. It's mental warfare. Right up until the moment the ref says fight, Sean O'Malley knows how defensively bad Merab is. He knows how reckless he can get. He knows the opportunity for a massive knockout is going to present itself more than once. And he's letting Merab know. He's letting him know. So guys, over 25 minutes, there's going to be a few opportunities for Sean O'Malley to find that kill shot. And that's because Merab Dvalishvili, he's defensively bad. He's too reckless. So guys, my closing statement, my final assessment for this fight. One of these guys is a great striker. The other is a great hard worker. One of these guys has unbelievable technical skill. The other has unbelievable heart and determination. What are you going to pick? Heart and will or technical skill? And still, Sean O'Malley with a massive knockout. Sean O'Malley's going to dust Merab Dvalishvili. That's the pick. That's the play. As always, guys, let me know you're taking in the main event, the co-main event, your straight bets, your parlays, your Money City bets, all that good stuff. Drop in the comment section below. Keep your eyes to the sky, never glued to your shoes. Enjoy this card. It's going to be a sick card. Let's go. Peace.